Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this on your Facebook page. Okay, we are on to part 2 of redoing my mother-in-law's front garden. And the first video we did all the foundation plants and we added, we checked all the drip irrigation to make sure everything was working. We had to fix some that I broke. And so now we're on to part 2. And in part 2, we're going to be utilizing containers, existing containers that she already has. We're going to be creating vignettes of containers within the garden to create interesting focal points. And then we're also going to be layering in 4 different varieties of perennials throughout the garden. Now, a little bit about the garden. This is west. It's almost noon. So we're definitely getting to the hotter time of the day. I was running behind. It's summer now for my kids, so we slept in and all that good stuff. And so this garden is set up to drip irrigation, quite a bit of the drip irrigation, which is extremely important as it gets so hot with all the west-facing sun this way. But let me take y'all through a quick overview of where we are at this so far, and then let's go look at the containers she has. Okay, so just so you know, we also have this area. We're not handling this area in this current makeover because that's going to be several $100s. So we don't want to do that. We're working on this area and this little area right there. And so yesterday we went through, we removed weed barrier, landscape fabric, and then we ended up going through and checking all the drip irrigation. And then we added foundation plants, including a Ruby Falls redbud, some Blue Point junipers, kaleidoscope abelia, Rose Creek abelia, double play Big Bang spirea, and a beautiful carpet rose called Midland Rose, which is really, really pretty. But let's walk over and check out her containers. Now we do have this existing container, which is absolutely beautiful. And it was right there, and it would be great to put it back there. We might actually be doing that. But that one is beautiful. It looks really nice. Okay, so she has some traditional terracotta, which are a little too small for what we want to do. She has this black one, which is not bad. It's a lightweight black one. And then she's got some stone, and I say stone looking ones. These are all the lightweight. I think this is the direction we're going to go with these lighter color ones. And I like with their little detailing on them. I think is really pretty. It's very much in her style. So I think, let me get y'all set up and I'll start bringing some of these over and placing them and see what we think. Okay. So I've got several to work with. I really want a trio of containers back in this area. I think would look really nice. And I really want them to be at different heights. So I would have to raise some of them up. Which is definitely something I could do. Okay, let's talk about my thought process. Why would I even put containers in this garden? Well, for a couple of reasons. First off, this is a young garden, so a lot of the shrubs and such are small, and adding in containers like this really adds a lot of interest, and it can add a lot of color and texture to the space that's not there yet because the plants are so young and so small, right? Also, it's a very easy way to add interest and texture and such, and then remove them at a later point in time in a few years when you don't want them there or need them there anymore. Secondly, I just think it looks cool. I do this in my gardens all the time. I like lots of layers in my gardens, and I think having containers like this really allows you to do that. Now, one of the other things I really like is she happens to have mostly coordinating containers, which is great. They all look purposeful. They all look like they go together beautifully, which is awesome. And it does save a lot of money as opposed to us going to buy new ones. I do like the lighter color. It adds some contrast to the space, which I think looks really, really nice. Just for color wise, we are going to be adding a cedar mulch into this, which will be like a light brown cedary kind of color, which I think will look really nice with the bricks and at the base of these containers. But that also means that you're not going to have the dark mulch, which is currently there. You're not going to have that dark mulch at the base of the containers. So the containers are not going to contrast as much as you're seeing right now. Yeah, I like it. And I think that this will be nice. I'd like to put something a little taller in that back corner, and then some other ones. I like trios of pots. I think it looks really nice. We have another accent over here. And then I am going to move this container right here. It's going to get moved back. But one thing I want to do first is I want to get all of these containers settled, and I need to get some bricks or rocks underneath them to lift them up so that they'll have really good drainage. Don't tell Jeff I was moving this on my own. That works, and that's lifted up now, which will allow for better drainage. Okay, that definitely gives me a better visual, and I really like the light color. I think it looks really nice. We're going to fill those on a separate video. This might go to part 4, y'all. Those look good though. I wanted to get them in place, so I just knew where they were going to be before I started placing perennials. So now let me pull up perennials and let's start talking about those, where they're going to go, their function, and how they're going to what role they're going to have within the garden. First, starting with a couple of larger perennials that are going to bring some color to the space. And that is a couple of these white salvia shrubs. Of course, it just says assorted perennial. Oh, here we go. Sally Fun Snow White Salvia. It is 18 tall by 18 wide. Hardy down to, it says hardy to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That can't be right. That would not be perennial in this area. I have this white salvia that comes back year after year after year. Okay, we're just gonna go for it, try it out, see what happens, okay? But I wanted to put it there, and it would create a bright spot in the space. I also like the height. It will be an in-between for the shrubs at the back. And then even if the shrubs in the front, this blue star juniper, it only gets 2 feet tall. So at the most, and it's very slow growing. So we have a lot of time for that juniper. So I think this will be nice. I also think it adds to kind of a casual, whimsical quality in the garden that I think will be really good for my mother-in-law's style. Okay, next I want to go with a bolder pop of color. So I have some coneflower here, a trio of coneflowers to go in this space right here. And these are called Sombrero Fuchsia Fandango coneflowers. They are about 18 to 20 inches tall, ideal for beds, borders, cutting gardens, hardy zones 4 through 9. And you can see it adds a really nice bright pop of color right here within the garden, which I think is going to look really good. This is a...
It's looking so beautiful over here.
Yeah. Some abelias, which are really pretty, and they change colors throughout the season. All 3 of those are different types of abelias. Oh. Over here, I've got some coreopsis. Oh, Cheryl's bringing me a drink. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Yep, I'm talking. Okay. Okay, so I've got coreopsis here, Coreopsis rosea, or American Dream Pink Threadleaf Coreopsis. And you can see, once again, keeping with the pink tones is the goal. Full sun, about 9 to 15 inches tall. So these are actually at their largest right here. They do have a tendency to flop. My hope is that when they do, it will be towards this front edge right here. And soft pink blooms. And then you can see that the green, this Coreopsis leaf, contrasts with the Ruby Falls and contrasts with the Blue Point. So lots of Blue Point juniper. So lots of contrast throughout the space is really important. All right, and I was thinking about putting Helen von Stein Landseer right around here. And then I think I'm going to repeat it somewhere else. Let me show y'all. Okay, so this container will be filled with something cool. I'm thinking about doing some of the Landseer, and I think I might pick up some more Landseer. Doing some of the Landseer right here in this little area, because Landseer is just super hardy and does really great. And I like the soft tones right here where people will be walking. And one thing about the Landseer, I can plant a couple of these, and then in a couple of years I can divide these and put these in other parts of her garden. It's one of my favorite perennials to be able to divide because it's so hardy. Now I also have a Texas rock rose, and I think I'm going to aim for this back corner, and which looks a little odd, right? But I think it'll look really nice. The rock rose gets about maybe 3 to 4 feet tall, right around there. It's got these soft pink blooms that just bloom and bloom and bloom. It's a little bit wild and soft. So I think it can come here and it can kind of fall over the edge a little bit, and it can soften this whole corner, which I think will be really nice. It's a very, very hardy perennial. So I think that that's going to look awesome as well. Okay. And in doing that, it leaves us space for a few things. We have plenty of space to put in a bunch of annuals, and we're probably going to be focusing on Vinca. We're going to put an extension out right here. I need a longer extension for her down drain, her downspout. And then I was thinking I might not leave this here, because I think I might utilize that area right there for annuals as well. What do y'all think? I could put this in like one of the pots or containers, which would be pretty. But I feel like I need the repeat of annuals right there. I don't know. Although I could just put the annuals in the containers, the pots. Well, it's so hard to decide. It's okay. I can always change things up if I want. I could put this one over here. Put both of those over there to soften that. It'd be really pretty if she had a trellis or mosaic or something right there. I might see if I have something there. Maybe eventually we can plant like a clematis for early spring clematis, which should be pretty. Okay, let's get planting. Now, I planned poorly. I did not wear the right shoes. Don't do what I'm doing. It's not good. But we'll go ahead and get each of these planted. And let me pull this up so I make sure I'm not hitting that. With each of these, as I'm planting, I'm going to add some I'm gonna have to go change shoes. I'm gonna add some plant tone to each of these as I'm planting. I would usually do biotone, but they were out of it. So here we are. All right, I'm gonna run home and change shoes. Got my boots on. We're ready to go now. Sally Fun Snow White Salvia is a striking perennial with pure white flower spikes that bloom continuously from spring through fall. It grows 18 to 24 inches tall and wide and prefers full sun and is hardy in zones 7 through 10. It attracts pollinators like bees and butterflies and is highly heat tolerant. American Dream Coreopsis features fine, airy foliage and soft pink daisy-like flowers with yellow centers that bloom all summer. It reaches 15 to 18 inches tall and 18 to 24 inches wide and thrives in full sun and is hardy in zones 4 through 9. It's drought tolerant and ideal for pollinator gardens and borders. This vibrant coneflower variety boasts bold fuchsia pink petals with a contrasting dark central cone. It stands 18 to 22 inches tall and 22 to 24 inches wide, loves full sun, and is hardy in zones 4 through 9. It's a compact floriferous echinacea that attracts butterflies and makes a great cut flower. Okay, I feel like this soil feels super crappy in this one. So I think what I'm gonna do, I don't wanna risk the health of these plants. So I think what I'm gonna do is run by the nursery and grab probably 3 to 4 bags of compost to put into this container. So when you get down low, just rock, sand, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. And I don't know, I don't want to waste what we spent on the plants. So I think I'll go do that. And while I'm there, I can also go ahead and pick up the soil so we can go ahead and put soil into all the containers. Okay, so I drove out to Farmersville, Texas to Homegrown out there. It's my favorite nursery to shop at. I picked up compost and soil, which is going to be so much better for all of this area. So we're just going to add compost to this area. And I'm going to feel so much better about putting plants in this now. Okay, so now in the hole I am going to mix up some of the old mulch with the compost. And then we'll plant our Helen von Stein lamb's ear, which should just do beautifully. Helen von Stein lamb's ear is a cultivar of lamb's ear with an extra large, velvety, silver green leaves that form a dense, low-growing mat. It grows 10 to 12 inches tall and 18 to 24 inches wide, thrives in full sun to part shade, and is hardy in zones 4 through 9. It's prized for its soft texture, drought tolerance, and deer resistance. And then right back here, we'll put Texas rock rose. Texas rock rose is a tough native perennial with hibiscus-like rosy pink blooms that appear from late spring through fall. It grows 2 to 3 feet tall and wide and prefers full sun and is hardy in zones 8 through 10. It's heat and drought tolerant, low maintenance, and a favorite of pollinators. Okay, last thing for the day is I'm going to fill all the containers with soil. And then that'll set me up for planting tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to water these in. Actually, I'm going to water everything in real well. It is definitely hot. And my mother-in-law also ran the drip irrigation. Just wanted to make sure everything stays nice and moist during this time because of transplant shock. While I was at Homegrown, I actually picked up a lot of stuff for annual color. And up until now, it probably looked like we've done a lot of color. Wait till you see the amount of color we're about to add with the annual. The thing about annuals, they're a little pricey. They have so much color and they don't last year to year. It's hard. So I like to have some annuals in my bed, but I also like to have foundation plants, perennials, all that good stuff. And tomorrow's job will be planting up the annuals. I do have a few perennials to put in the containers, but planting up the containers tomorrow. And then I think we're have to go to another day where I'm putting annuals in the ground, adding mulch. But then also I really want to, my mother-in-law has some beautiful garden decor that I would like to tuck into a few places here as well. So I think that'll be video 4. All right, what a change for today. So coreopsis, some sage salvia, coneflower, lamb's ear, and a Texas rock rose right back there. Then we add a container there, trio there, and there. So tomorrow we will start planting at the containers. I will show you how I attach to existing drip irrigation to run irrigation up to the containers, which is super helpful in North Texas, especially when you have a west-facing garden. All right, you all. I hope you enjoyed today, part 2 of my mother-in-law's garden. Definitely beginning to make a lot of progress. It's looking beautiful already. Had a sweet neighbor next door stop by to check it out, and she wanted to know what all plants we were putting in because she's working on her garden. And that's one of the great things about gardening. It inspires a lot of people. So hope you guys will join me tomorrow for the next part of this video. Be sure to drop me what perennials you love that are full sun perennials for your area. Drop it in the comments, share the love, what ones work good for you. Be sure to mark your zone as well. So let us know what zone you are in. So if you're in zone 5, there's a lot of stuff I can't grow in full sun. That grows in full sun in zone 5. So drop your comments below and let us know. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out on my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is all things gardening, all things She's a Mad Gardener. It's people who want to support me in my journey. And it's people who want support in their own gardening journey. So there is a free tier you can join in on, and there are additional paid tiers. The higher up you are in the tiers, the more access you get, including exclusive videos that are not available to anyone else, as well as group chats and photo sharing. It's really great because we talk about what's going on in our gardens, the successes, the failures. It's awesome. All right, you all. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.